Modern Mahjong's here to wish you a happy National Mahjong Day. Today's Wednesday, April 30th, 2025, and it's time for our daily talk of the tiles. You may have heard that there's a National Mahjong Day and an International Mahjong Day in 2 different days. One's in August, one's in April. Either way, even more days to celebrate our wonderful game. Join us by reading or watching and listening. This full video will be posted to our YouTube channel, and you can watch all of the playlist of our daily talk of the tiles there. While we briefly addressed in the daily talk of the tiles previously, we're going to revisit rules on misnamed tiles. We've been asked a lot about it recently. What happens if a player discards a tile and misnames it? If no one called it yet, no harm, no foul, simply correct the tile and move on. And a lot of players are kind of hung up a little bit on protocol. If you see a player throw a 2 dot and say 2-bam, you could just say, oh, isn't it a 2-bam? Or did you just throw a 2-bam? Or I don't think that's a 2 dot. There's no harm in bringing that up. This is in a home game. Of course, check with the tournament director on rules if you're playing a tournament. What if player A discards and misnames the tile, and player B claims that misnamed tile and exposes tile to claim the misnamed tile? So player A discards a tile, player B picks up the tiles from the sloping part of the rack, puts them on the flat part of the rack, and then said, oh, that wasn't what I thought you called. Their hand is dead. So let's walk through this. Player A discards a 5 dot, calls it a 6 dot. Player B calls to make an exposure with the 6 dot. They place 2 tiles from their rack on the flat top of their rack, and then they go to take the 6 dot from the center of the table and realize it's not there. Oh no, their hand is now dead. And there's no penalty to the discarder. So we're moving on to our tile tip of the day. This why it is best practice to first claim the discard. Verbally announce, call, take, claim. Confirm that the discard that was actually discarded on the table is what you heard. Place it on the flat top part of your rack, and then add tiles from the sloping part of your rack. And just as an aside, since we didn't mention this in the rule, even if the player that discarded had that tile in their rack, they don't trade it out and swap it out. Actions speak louder than words, and they are committed to discarding that tile. If player B claims the misnamed discard for Mahjong before it's corrected, the discarder pays player B 4 times the value of the hand. So basically, they're paying for the table. They're playing twice for throwing the discard that caused the Mahjong, and once for each of the other players. Why is this? Well, now everyone would know what tile player B needs for their win. No one's going to throw that. Technically, the player might not even be able to display a correct hand, since they're not really taking a 6-dot, they're taking whatever tile was discarded. So we like to call this payment by penalty rather than Mahjong. Today, for our hand of the day, we're focusing on hands on the 2025 card that have Quints of Flowers, Dragons, and Winds. So if you want to pause, we'll wait a moment for you to look at the hands, and there's going to be one section where they're in Quints of Flowers, Dragons, and Winds. And whoops, there aren't any. This year, the only quints are numbers. The reason we mention this is if you see a quint of Flowers, Dragons, and Winds, you know you can call that player's hand dead. Now, there's strategy to whether or not you want to, but they do have technically a dead hand, and anybody can call their hand dead. Do you have ideas for our daily talk of the tiles or pictures to send us of your morning routine? Send them to us at modernmahjong@gmail.com. We only have 2 classes left currently on the calendar, and there have been requests for more, but for now we have April 30th and May 1st. If you're seeing this first thing in the morning, we are cutting off registrations by 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Modern American Canasta Convention's taking place October 11th and 12th in New York City. We hope you could join us. For more details, visit bit.ly/CanastaCon25, and both C's are capital. And finally, we are very excited with our 95 chock full of information PDF to learn the card strategy during the Charleston, improve your strategy during the game, no backup hands, have a plan B. All of this is included. So this is modernmahjong.com/products/2025 PDF. And finally, if this popped up in your feed and you're saying, where have you guys been? Make sure you follow us, like, comment, save, and share so you could find us when you're looking for great tips. We hope you have a great day, happy National Mahjong Day, and a great game.